diastasis recti during pregnancy, how to work to minimize prevention and also to begin healing during pregnancy. Now that can sound kind of crazy, but it really can happen, and I've seen it time and time again with clients that I work with one-on-one, as well as clients that join me in my online Knocked Up Fitness prenatal membership. So I want to talk about some of the key things with diastasis recti during pregnancy. So one of the big questions I get is, how do I test for diastasis during pregnancy, or women get really concerned that they have it? Well, here's my best advice. And in my almost 20 years of working with so many incredible pregnant women, I have just come to the point where I don't ever test pregnant women for diastasis recti, right? If you previously had a pregnancy and know you have diastasis, that's good. And here's the thing, I want you to reframe the way we look at diastasis, okay? It is really just a piece of information, right? Knowledge is power, ladies, right? So if you know you have diastasis recti from a previous pregnancy, or again, you don't have to have been pregnant to have diastasis, right? Maybe you did a lot of really intense core abdominal exercises, and then that can cause diastasis as well. But I won't get too much into that. It's a conversation for another day. So when you're pregnant, some key things to pay attention to start to just be aware of, could the things I'm doing be contributing to causing diastasis or worsening diastasis? Because during pregnancy, we can actually work to heal, right? So we have to differentiate the two. So one of the biggest things that I like to teach is starting to be aware of, is your belly creating coning, right? So it's like, our belly should be nice and rounded. And of course, as you get farther along in your pregnancy, it's gonna be easier and easier for your belly to start creating a coning look. So I use my hands here, right? So we can kind of get it almost looks like instead of your belly being nice and rounded like this, what'll happen is it'll be rounded, and then you'll start to see kind of a little ridge or a bump that comes up. Some women are like, it's like an alien's coming out of my belly, right? So that's just a sign that's telling you, and again, it's feedback. Our body's always telling us something, so we just need to learn how to listen, and then we can understand what to do about it, okay? And so what that can be showing is that we're too tight in other muscles of our body, so that our linea alba, our rectus abdominals, and that linea alba that's in the middle, it's like this fascial sheath here, it's getting stretched too much. So something to be aware of is, oh my gosh, am I gripping in my obliques, which is very common. Is your low back too tight? So if we think about it for a second, I'll turn to the side here. I'm gonna talk you all through a couple of cues on how to work to start to heal, but I wanna talk through some of this first. So when pregnancy progresses and we get this postural shift, right? You can get this really intense low back tightness. And so it's almost like, that our belly is getting bigger and our back is getting tighter. And so because this tissue is all pulling so tight in our low back, we're not able to connect well from our pelvic floor, lower belly. So doing some exercises to help to release that lower back, but the key thing saying with that is we don't want to just stretch. We have to also work on learning how to connect lightly from our pelvic floor and underneath our belly. And that is a really, really big key thing. So something that you can do at home is you can just sit down like I'm sitting, you can sit on a chair, sit on a ball, whatever feels best for you, and just start to work on your breath. Okay, number one, breathing. If we breathe in through our nose and visualize our breath going way deep down into our low back and into our pelvis, it does a couple things. One, it can cause an automatic decrease in stress in our body, which has an immediate effect on tension in our body, specifically in the low back. So just by working on our breath and sending our breath into our low back and into our pelvis, we can start to elicit a relaxation response in our body. So that can be super, super powerful to help to get rid of that tightness in our low back and help us to minimize gripping in our obliques as well as in our glutes. So we want to breathe deep into that. So that's one piece of it, is we've got to learn how to release and relax through these areas of our core and our pelvis that are really, really tight. So any of you that have a history of doing a lot of weight training or CrossFit or high intensity, or you're a runner, right? Nothing wrong with that. It's just to recognize that you probably have gripping in your muscles, right? And so during pregnancy, it's great to be strong. Trust me, I'm the first person to tell you, stay active. But I've learned over all these years that it's really important that we recognize things that are helping us to prepare for pregnancy and birth and recovery postpartum, because they're all connected. versus things that are just keeping us strong and tight. And being really tight, I have learned, is not helping our body in preparation for birth, okay? Or serving our pelvic floor, or for diastasis, right? There are things that actually can contribute. So by learning to release and relax, that's a very big key piece in helping to minimize diastasis, helping and working on prevention, and also to begin healing diastasis during pregnancy. The other piece of that is we have to learn how to properly and effectively strengthen our deep core, which starts at our pelvic floor. And ladies, even for any of you that have had diastasis in the past and you've been just addressing like the abdominal wall, like maybe you've been doing the towel wrapping around you and just thinking about like the abdominal wall, we have to kind of we have to think bigger. We have to think like that's the old way of thinking about healing diastasis. We have to really go in and address our entire core, ladies. If you have diastasis, we have to address the pelvic floor. So when I have women that come to me, they're postpartum or beyond, and they're like, Erica, okay, they want to join my core rehab program, which is exactly what you should do once you've been cleared for your doctor postpartum. It's the best way to heal your body and re-strengthen in a really safe yet effective way to become stronger. And a part of it, a big reason why it was started, was to heal diastasis. But the thing is, when I have women that come to me like, Erica, I just want to heal my diastasis, I don't have any pelvic floor dysfunction, because that's kind of what society has told us. There's a lot of myths out there. We have to really start to recognize like, no, our entire core, everything is connected, ladies. We can't just address the abdominal wall without addressing our pelvic floor, without addressing our hips and our booty and our hamstrings and our lower back and our neck and our mid back and our shoulders. It's all connected. We can't just look at our abdominal wall, okay? So when you take these words of advice, and if you want to know the step-by-step how to do them, have your layout of the workouts to do, the tutorials, and I have all of that laid out for you in my prenatal Nocta Fitness membership. That's what it's there. Oh my gosh, the testimonials that come out of that are just incredible, right? Not only can it help in working to heal, minimize, and prevent diastasis, and I've heard this from so many women that they're fearful that their diastasis is going to get so much worse because they might be pregnant with a third and they have severe diastasis, like so much they're like, Erica, I can, prior to getting pregnant again, she's like, Erica, I can push my whole hand into my abdomen, right? And there's that fear, and I don't like that fear, because that fear is actually standing in our way of creating even better results. So I want you to set the fear aside, know that you've come to the right place to learn more about your body. During pregnancy, you're going to connect with your body in a whole new way that you can't any other time in life. And this really, really cool, we have some incredible superpowers when we're pregnant. And one of those is that you have a baby in your belly, so you can get so much more tactile feedback of that fascial tissue. And I talk a lot about our fascial system and fascia, and that's a lot of what you're going to be working on to become stronger during pregnancy, because it's really the fascia, those fascial sheaths in our abdominal wall that's going to help to give your belly the support, your body the support that it needs. It's going to be what's helping to, again, all this with diastasis, working to minimize, working to prevent, working to heal during pregnancy. And when you take these words of wisdom that I'm sharing with you, we have so many women that once they're 6 to 10 weeks postpartum, because I don't recommend checking for diastasis before 6 weeks postpartum, preferably. I like you to wait to 10, because at the end of the day, the healing process is the same, whether you have diastasis recti, whether you had a vaginal delivery, whether you had a cesarean delivery, like it doesn't matter. I want every single woman to start in the same place. We've got to work on the fundamentals to build our body back up postpartum. The really cool thing is that over all these years of working with women, I've had so many women that they found me when they got pregnant again, and they're like, Erica, I found you because I know you're like the core whisperer. You can like do this magic stuff with my core, help me to work on at least not worsening diastasis during pregnancy. And I was like, we can do better than that. I can help you become stronger than your core has ever been, help to actually even begin healing diastasis. And the amazing thing is once she's at 6, 8, 10 weeks postpartum and it's time to test for diastasis, she's just blown away. She's like, Erica, my diastasis is so much better now after having this 3rd, 4th, 5th baby than it was when I got pregnant. It's almost unheard of because it needs to be a common thing during pregnancy. And there's so many other benefits, right, of learning how to connect correctly with your pelvic floor, working on minimizing postural shifts that happen, because that plays a role in diastasis recti. And if we can start to connect the dots, right, instead of thinking as everything individually, our body's all connected, our breath is connected, our mindset with our body, the visualization, and then what we do prior to becoming pregnant, during pregnancy, all can help us with preparing for birth, right? So what you're gonna learn also could help prepare you for birth, especially that pushing phase of labor, so that we can minimize tearing, and then that can then lead into a much easier postpartum recovery. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. If you're looking for more information, you can find so much information on our Knocked Up Fitness website. So I really want you to know that you have an incredible support system here. I know with everything that's going on out there in the world right now that, if you're looking for that support system, you want to know exactly what to do, what's safe for your body from a movement perspective during pregnancy, or even if you're like, I don't really feel like working out, but I'd really love to learn more about my core. We have a lot of women that join us inside of our program just to do that. And if you just do that and you learn that right there is so powerful, because when we educate ourselves, nobody can take that away from us. So reach out if you have any questions, and thanks for joining me today.